G'day, Glenn here from the Victorian Yard Utility Farm Dog Association. I'm with Zoe. He's looking rather dapper today with a lovely hat on. Zoe, a couple of questions. When did you get started in trialling?
Not that long ago, about 5 years ago.
Is that all?
Yeah. Originally, Luke, we'd been breeding dogs for about 12 years, and Luke said to me, probably should do something with these dogs rather than just go, yeah, we've got good dogs. And anyway, we'd done a few Joe schools, I'd done a McDonald's school, there'd been a bit of that happen. And anyway, we talked to, I just rang Joe up one day out of the blue and said, we want to come and talk to you. And later on, Joe said to me, I've never met anyone so upfront and pushy. but
that's a good thing.
But at the end of the day, Luke and I went every weekend prior to Luke's first trial.
Yep.
We went every weekend for about, I'd probably say 3 or 4 months.
That's commitment.
We just trained until we didn't look like twits.
What did you learn from it though?
Oh God, at least how we have them all day. So much. So many things. We learnt that mainly trialling is about positioning. Position your dog. If you can sit him there and there, you can move the sheep if you know how to. If you can control the situation.
Well, as a self-confessed amateur, and you know that, and all this information you're telling me is quite handy. So, and for a lot of people that will probably see this in the end.
Yeah.
Your favourite dog?
Oh jeez. Tricky one. My favourite dog at the moment.
Put it this way. Put it from a personal perspective and a competition perspective.
So from a personal perspective, Washable Peter Pan. He's my go-to. He's big, red and tan, bouncy, woofy, dopey bugger. Competition-wise, he's hopeless. He can jag one here and there, but he just bombs them. And I've had a fair few blokes over the years go, oh God, Zoe, what are you doing with him? Sort of thing. But at home, he'll pack races all day. He'll fill sheds. He's not much in the paddock, but look, he's all right. He's got a cast on him, and he'll get the job done. Competition-wise, I only run Xena at the moment, so she's Blue Hill Xena, so she's by an old dog called Bear Rock Ned, who we bought about...
I have heard of that.
Yeah, so we bought him 8 years ago from Bear Rock Stud in Tasmania, from Michael and Louise Williams. For us at that point, we paid a lot of money for him, and we had no money to go over on the boat to pick him up.
Oh no.
And anyway, and he barked all the way from St Mary's on the boat, all the way home. We could hear him down the bottom. Anyway, but best old dog. We bought him as a 5-year-old, and he's a controversial dog too. I suppose there's a lot of people that didn't think he was all that, but Luke and I bred him to quite a few bitches, and we still get people where we only had a bloke ring up last week say that it's a son of his. Best dog he's ever owned, best truck dog he'd ever owned. Very much a yardie type dog, but could cast.
It's sort of a self-reward in itself for what you do, isn't it?
I love it. A lot of people ring you up when there's something wrong, not when there's something right. And so when someone rings you up to tell you...
Ain't that the truth, people?
So when someone rings you up to tell you that a dog you bred is the best dog they've ever owned, or it's going there, or if you've got anything else like that, you go, well, there you go, So competition-wise, I'd say Xena. She's just come back from, she did a cruise ship, so she's just come back. She's pretty good now. But I've got a young dog, Caracapasto, coming up, so he'll autumn trial next year. So I'm.
When you're not busy organising.
When I'm not busy organising. Well, spring's always so busy for us, everything we do. So it's just, I just don't get to trial in spring. Autumn is my trialling time because I get to get outside with the kids and work dogs and it's not freezing cold and all those things. So yeah, Zene's the one at the moment as far as competition, but I've got a couple in the wings that we'll see how they go.
Good. Following on from that, any favourite trial locations that you'd like to? Is there like one favourite ground that you've ever been to?
Riola. I love Riola.
Why?
I don't know. Because we have the same sheep every year. They're about 6-year-old Turks now, I reckon. Like big, woolly red eyes, and they are bad. And you know, the back fence is two panels high because they just wanted to. I don't know. I've just always loved Riola. It's a great. I mean, it's a charity carnival, so there's crap load of people there. You get the sheep in the first pen and people clap for you. We don't get that at any other trials. And it's just sort of go, oh yeah, I did get them in, you know, because it's exciting, because you did get them in, you know, like, because they are tough bastards. And they'll come out at the dog every time. They'll find the dogs out. They find them out every time there. So, probably Riola would have to be up there, and of course Landsborough because we run that. But,
of course.
You know, and I love here. Dean's great. Dean's good community, good people, good grounds. We ran it here in autumn last year. And it was beautiful because we had sun was shining, grass green. It was just beautiful. So this would be a good summer trial because you know it's green here. You know, nearly.
It's pretty central located too, I think, for a lot of people.
Oh, it'd be great. Set permanent yards here. One day.
Cough, hint. What's your best outcomes for trialling? As in, is it winning for you? Is it learning skills? Is it watching the dogs learn skills? Is it a combination of all three, four,
There's
five?
nothing better than coming off the course, having had a good run, regardless of what the judge says. But you know, if you come off and you've run a 92 or a 94. For me, like, and I'm only an amateur too, you come off and you go, that was pretty good. Because you know you were both working for the same outcome. And I think that camaraderie with your dog, not so much with, you know, but it's coming together as a team that makes you go glassy-eyed, you know, like you go, yeah, that was pretty good. Winning, when I first started, because I'm competitive, I will admit that, bloody competitive. When I first started, I was super competitive with myself, and so made it really hard on myself and on the dogs, put pressure on myself, when really I should have just sat back and gone, you know, like, she'll be right. And after about the third year, I went, oh look, you know, I'm not enjoying it. If I'm not enjoying it, why am I doing it? And so I took all the pressure off myself and went, oh, shit happens, you know, let's just have a bit of fun here.
And that's when it fell together?
And that's when it all came together. And I actually had got a couple of wins and things happened, and Zebra and I worked really well together, and even Pete and I think we have won one. So, you know.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, so, you know, so I think, yeah, and learning new skills, trialling, a lot of people frown upon trialling as, oh, it's just an obedience course, or it's just this, or it's just that. But at the end of the day, if you can work better with your dog here, you will work better with your dog at home, on the farm, doing whatever you're doing. Your skills here will follow through at home. So petting up the sheep for the shearers, you're going to think about it in a different light. You're going to be able to position your dog differently. You're going to be able to work your stock differently.
Would that be creating efficiencies for both you and the dog?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So, you know, like by doing that, you know, you've got, you know, you're not flogging your dog, you know, doing the same thing, and you can set him up the right spot, make sure he does the right thing, and, you know, and you know, you're not, it's certainly an efficient way of doing things.
I've got one final question for you because I know you're busy and you've got to be somewhere shortly. What, for you, is the advice you could give a beginner like me? Or have you really just encapsulated that with the questions that I've asked already?
To an extent, yeah. Have fun. Don't put pressure on yourself. That's from my personal experience. But learn and be willing to listen and watch and take on things so that you're so that a lot of people come in and go, I've got a dog and I know how to do this. But a lot of the time, there's a mentoring system. There's a mentoring system and they go, what happens is, dude.
Hey, dude.
Go on, yeah. So we've got a mentoring system. We've got a mentoring system.
I'm going to leave that bit in.
We've got a mentoring system in the association. Grab hold of it. Find a bloke that works the same as you, or a woman that works the same as you, that you want to achieve similar things, or you think that person will gel with how you work with your dog. and pick their brain. Go and talk to them. Most of those blokes out there are willing to give up their knowledge. It's not all secret squirrel business. People are willing to give you information. Take it, use it, take it on board.
I think we all can share different
absolutely.
levels of knowledge.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there's, I think it's a good thing, enjoy yourself. There's no point getting out there and, but you've also got to be aware that not every dog is all suited to trialling. And, there's some dogs that you're going to, some dogs you're going to work and go, like Pete, there's some dogs you're going to work and go, I just should leave him at home.
Yeah.
And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. He's not a failure and you're not a failure. It's just that you need a different dog for the job. That's all it is.
That's all we need to know.
Perfect.
Thanks, Zoe, for your time.
Thank you.
Greatly much appreciated.
Cheers, mate.
And we'll get back to it.
Okay.